Hey, it's Dr. McLean with Vital Energy Chiropractic. I want to talk to you about something that's really important today as you get older. And if you've seen maybe people in your life that you know as they've gotten older, they've got that bent over position, they're very maybe unsure on their feet, they're very restricted in their motion, or maybe you've noticed this with yourself as you've gotten older, it's harder to get out of bed in the morning. There are certain times you're stiff and sore, or maybe you do something more active and the next day you're really stiff and sore. And there's many factors for that, but I want to talk to you about something really important called Wolff's Law. And Wolff's Law is like the law of gravity. It applies to everybody. And so Wolff's Law states basically that the more stress you put on a bone, the more dense it's going to be. So this applies to things like osteoporosis and osteopenia, but we're going to talk about it in a little bit different light. So you have something called osteoblast, these cells called osteoblast, and you have cells called osteoclast. So osteoblast are stimulated with activity, physical activity. It causes your body to lay down more bones. So somebody's very physically active, they're moving, they're stressing their body, their bones are going to be stronger. There's something called osteoclast, and they reabsorb bones. So our body is very, very intelligent. It's very, very efficient. So if you're not using something, you're going to lose it. So if you're very sedentary, you're not moving, those osteoclasts are going to take effect and they're going to make the bones weaker. It has a lot less to do with calcium than what you've been told. Now, why it's important, we're going to talk about today, is with our spine and any joint in our body. If you think about that stress, right? So if my spine, it's supposed to be straight from the front and it's curved to the side, every time I'm upright, I'm putting more stress on this concave side of the spine, and the osteoblasts are going to be more active there. It's going to lay down more bone. And over time, we want to have our spinal bones and our discs look like this, but over time they can start to look like this, and especially in those areas that are having more pressure on it. The same thing can happen from the side. If we have our spine, because we're sitting on computers too much, or we've gotten a car accident, or some fall or injury that we had a long time ago, we've lost the curve in our neck. Now, the stress is on the front. We don't want it on the front. We want to be on the back, on the joints here. It's designed to support that weight, but if it moves forward, it moves that weight onto the disc and the bones in the front, and we start to get this degenerative effect. And when we have this arthritis and degeneration, these bones and these joints get very restricted in their motion. So imagine if I came and I put a brace on your knee and I made it really, really tight and you couldn't flex your knee, how are you going to move? Well, you're going to have to try to move your hip and your ankle more. So you have this happen to one joint of your spine, it's going to affect your whole spine, not just that one area. And as we get older, we get this, again, this restricted motion, and we're just talking about from a physical sense, but it affects us what's called physiologically too. It affects the way our brain functions. So the key is this is a definite process. This is not a random thing that happens. Like I said earlier, it's a law. So if you want to age gracefully and be able to physically do the things that you want to do as you get older, you've got to be proactive on this. Now, there's some things that are out of our control, of course, like injuries and different stresses and things like that, but we can be very proactive to undo that stress. Now, if you've already got arthritis and degeneration, this is still really important because you can slow down and sometimes stop that progress, and on certain levels reverse some of these things as well, because there's a lot of different factors on that. So number one, you got to take care of your spine and your joints. You've got to get regular chiropractic care to make sure not only the spine's in the right position, but moving the way that it's supposed to move, the best that your body can handle. Same thing, sometimes you need to get joints adjusted, hips, ankles, elbows, wrists. We want those moving the right way. Not quite as important as the spine because they're not typically bearing weight. I guess our knees and our ankles are, and our hips are as well. And so we want to get those, get your regular adjustments. For most adults, that's weekly. Some people can go a little bit less than that. And then you want to do your spinal rehab exercises. These rehab exercises are so important. And I have a lot of people say, well, I don't really notice anything when I do it. I don't feel any better, or it doesn't feel like it's doing anything. And I always equate it to like brushing your teeth. Well, if you don't brush your teeth, you don't really notice it in the first day or the second day or a week or two, other than maybe having bad breath. But over time, you're going to have degeneration to your teeth. You're going to get a cavity. That's probably what's going to happen. The same thing with our spine. You're not necessarily going to feel a difference every time you do it. I don't really notice much of a difference. Even when I get adjusted, I don't necessarily feel much differently. But I know over time it's affecting my longevity. And I feel better now than I did in my early 20s. So you want to get on top of these things. You want to be proactive. Don't wait until you get to the point where you can't move and you're stiff and you're sore. If you want more help with this, or you've got a loved one that's not getting regular chiropractic care, please refer them to our office and we will help them.